Hello, I want to tell you about a man named Jason. Jason was raised with his two brothers by a single mother in Chicago, Illinois. At the age of 28, his older brother died of a heroin overdose. He left behind a 6-year-old daughter, he left behind a wife, he left behind two brothers, and he left behind his mother. 2 years after that, his younger brother also died of a drug overdose. This time, he had not even met his daughter. She was born 2 months after his passing. Devastating for the family, right? However, 4 years after that, Jason needed help for his own opioid addiction. But unlike his brothers, he did live to tell his story. My name is Sarah Amato. Opioid overdose deaths are affecting families and communities daily. I'm going to talk to you a bit about the epidemic going on in Cook County, Chicago, Illinois. And I will tell you about a campaign called Blur, Bringing Life into Recovery, one of the many effective treatment campaigns out there to help treat and battle the opioid epidemic. So first I'm going to tell you the truth about opioids. Opioids are a drug that cause feelings of calmness and relieve pain. This creates a perfect environment for addictions to arise. Opioid use disorder, or OUD for short, it's a treatable chronic disease and it shows no discrimination. It doesn't matter your age, your gender, your race, your income level, your education, none of that matters. It affects everyone and anyone. There are two forms of opioids. One is a synthetic. Examples would be heroin and fentanyl. And fentanyl is one that you'll hear a lot. It is manufactured very cheaply and it's obtained easily. So that's why it is becoming, it's showing up in all different kinds of drugs like heroin, methamphetamines, and cocaine. A lot of the times the people who buy the drug don't know it's in there. The size of a fatal dose is as small as a couple of grains of sand. So it's just something that is creating devastation all over the place. There's also legal prescriptions, which are forms of opioids, which include hydrocodone and oxycodone. These are meant for short-term pain relief, prescribed by physicians. They're not really meant to be long-term, but because of the effects of them, we see many abuses of this form as well as the synthetic. Okay, impact in Chicago. The number of homicides in Chicago have been number one in the nation for 11 years in a row. As you can see here, since 2019, through the pandemic of COVID-19 and the last one that was reported in 2022, the homicide rate, although being number one, is still less than the rate of opioid fatalities. Just to give you a little picture of, the importance and the impact that these opioid use disorders have been having in these communities. Right here, 12 years old is the age of the youngest opioid overdose death in Chicago in the year 2022. And he was just a young boy. Just to show you, again, it does not discriminate based on pretty much anything. I would like to say that it does take a village. Sounds cliche, but it's the truth. One person cannot overcome this by themselves. Addiction is something that needs to be treated on all levels. So physicians, be it doctors who help with medications to aid in recovery, or if it's mental doctors to help treat the mental side of addiction, advocates to speak out for people who can't speak out for themselves. We need government agencies to back. We need nonprofits. We need communities. Communities are a big thing. Like I said, it takes a village. Luke Davies quoted, "When you can stop, you don't want to, and when you want to stop, you can't." And that, folks, is the philosophy of addiction in a nutshell. So opioid use disorder and fatal overdoses are now considered a crisis, an epidemic of sorts, all through the nation, but in Chicago specifically. If we prioritize, educate, and treat the opioid crisis, I believe we can pull together and save lives. Prioritizing would be putting these treatment campaigns, these public health campaigns, in the front runner, seeing as how it's becoming such a big deal, a big problem for many communities. Education, many people just don't know how serious it is, be it street drugs or even prescription drugs that cause these addictions and these overdoses and these deaths. Treatments, we need many, like I mentioned before, forms of treatment. We need treatments to pull together. We need resources. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you, and contact us, please, if you're in need of help or if you know someone that is. You can reach us at www.blur.com for more information, or you can follow us at Blur, that's at BLIR.